The Real Estate and Mortgage Show, your go-to spot for everything home buying, selling, and financing on News Talk 580 CFRA.
Well, welcome back to the show, everybody. So we were talking a little bit before the break. We went through the real estate numbers, kind of where we're at, average home prices, edging up in Ottawa to $703,000. We had a very interesting, Frank, you had an interesting email from a listener this week from Caroline.
Are you going to read it just the way it is? Because that was funny.
No, I'm not going to read Caroline's whole email. But the point she was trying to make was
it was tough back then too. Take it for granted.
Yeah, things were tough then. Things are tough now. We talk about affordability a lot, and Caroline's point was good. That you have to be good with your finances and sometimes give up some things like those lattes and whatever.
Well, yeah, but you did some research too, and you did a little bit of research, how much house prices have gone up in the last 30, 40 years versus wages.
So I was curious after reading Caroline's message when you forwarded it through, and from 1981 to 2024, this is all information from StatsCan, wages went up about 20%. So if you were making $100,000, you're making $120,000 in that time from 81 to 24.
Low,
that does feel low, actually, really.
That's inflation adjusted,
okay. Right?
So inflation adjusted, the average house price in 1980, and this is Canada-wide, was $221,000. Right? The average house price today, Canada-wide, $670,000. So the average price of a house has gone up triple, but wages have only gone up 20%. So we are talking about affordability for a reason.
Yeah.
It has changed.
I will say this. I mean, the world is different today. And take aside grocery stores. You go to grocery stores, I mean, you're minimum $50 a bag. Minimum. I mean, you used to do your groceries for the week for $50. Now if you're coming home with 3 bags, you probably dropped $150 at the grocery store.
Well, and if you're getting meat, you're probably $250.
Even, even more. I mean, I used to call Costco the $300 store. Now it's a $700 store.
Oh, easily.
You can't walk out there less than $700. So, but you look at interest rates. I mean, they've been all over the map, but the interest rates are fairly stable to where they were years ago. So how come? Because you're right, the wages haven't matched. But on top of just your mortgage payment, take away just your mortgage payment. The amount you need on a monthly basis to carry hydro, energy prices, gas, your water bill, on top of now today, property taxes, which are always going up and never remain flat. On top of that, you've got that we didn't have 20 years ago, 25 years ago, cell phones. We talked about TV and internet. I mean, people are spending $300-$400 a month on TV and internet. And you kind of gotta. It's not like now you can do the streaming services and get rid of the cable, but internet you're $100 usually a month.
Cable's the expensive part, and it's like mine is like $200, maybe less than $160, and the channels suck.
Yeah,
like
that's why people are streaming now, right? So people are doing a Netflix or doing an Apple TV. They're doing one of those, and it's okay, right? Or they're streaming everything, and that's okay too. But what I'm trying to say is the cost of everything, and it bothers me. Again, I've got lots of peeves these days. One of my biggest ones is the fact that we're being taxed on utilities that we need. Yeah. Like, I think that's absolutely horrendous that utilities have taxes on them. And when you've got the CEOs of these utility companies making $10 million a year, that's bothersome to hardworking people who are just struggling, and you have no choice. I mean, we live in Canada. We need hydro. We need heat. We need all that stuff.
How about like delivery fees and all that stuff?
And all that stuff. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. And that's why I say, listen, interest rates are at 4%. Yeah, are they higher than they were during COVID? Sure. But pre-COVID, I mean, we were in the 3s. So now we're in the 4s. So we're a little bit higher than we were pre-COVID. So, mortgage payments aren't horrible. What's horrible is the cost of carrying a home and the original price that you're paying for your home. That's gone up severely since COVID. So that's what's really hurting. And that's why we're seeing listings go up. That's why we're seeing more houses not sell. That's why we're seeing all of these factors play into why the numbers are where they are, because most people are just renewing their mortgages, because to be able to sell a home, even if they want to upgrade by a little bit, they're looking at the cost of doing it and they're saying it's too expensive to do it. It doesn't make any sense for me to maybe get one more bedroom, but it's going to cost me $100,000 by the time that I, pay the real estate commissions, pay the land transfer tax, pay the legal fees, and start over. And now my monthly payment's going to go up $200 or $300, which I can't really afford anyway, because I'm barely getting by with things the way they are. That's the problem.
One of the biggest challenges we're seeing, and we know the divorce rate's high. I don't know the exact number, but it's probably 50, 60% is a divorce rate. So we're seeing a lot of couples who maybe bought 4, 5, 6 years ago when the prices were high, and they're separating, so they have to sell their property. A number of situations now where they have to sell the property and potentially go to rent
at a loss
and start renting because where the prices are right now, and they can't afford what they need. So that's one of the biggest downfalls right now that I'm seeing in our business is people calling that they're a little bit underwater or a lot underwater, or they're divorcing. They have to sell their property and they can't really afford to sell, split the assets, and both buy. So they're going into the rental game. And we all know you get in the rental game, it's hard getting back into the buy game, right? It's really, really hard because...
what's an average townhouse renting for in suburbia, Canada, Orleans, Barrhaven?
25 to $3,000. Depending on the size, you're 25 to $3,000, sometimes a little bit more for the bigger ones. But so now let's say 28. You're paying $2,800. Add another $600 a month in utilities, right?
Yeah.
So
$400, $500, $600, depending. Yeah.
So
by the time
now
you
you're
put your internet, your cell phone, your whatever.
Yeah. So
you're
now
$600.
So now you're $3,400, somewhere in the $3,500. That's a lot. That's a lot to be a renter and still be able to put some money aside to save to buy again. And I know lots of people who ended up having to sell are now renters. It's been 6-7 years. They just can't get back in the game. They can't afford to get that down payment together in order to get back into the buy game. And we know it's the Canadian dream is to own a home, but
yeah. And there's not enough lattes you can cut back on to really get that back up there.
Yeah, to go back to that email, and again, I mean, she's not wrong. I mean, it was tough back then. I saw my parents go through double digit, the 18% when they bought and their second home in 1981 and 82. I saw that, but they got their house in Carlingwood for $65,000. So, they saw some appreciation in the value of their home. The problem today is that, you talked about the fact that the prices are going up, but now we're back to, houses maybe going up 1 or 2% a year. We're not going to see the tremendous upside.
No.
So you're not building that equity.
Jump, yeah.
But you're not building that equity, which is what I think was more prevalent in the 80s, 90s. We went through a spurt in the early 90s where we were flat for 2 or 3 years. But apart from that, we've always seen the 3, 4, 5, 6%. Maybe the new norm is going to be more between 1 and 3%, which is okay because a home should be a long-term investment, not something you buy and live in it for 2 years and then go somewhere else because that's very expensive these days.
We did go through 2016, 2017, 2018 with small percentage increases. And then, of course, what happened in COVID where we went up 50% in 2 years.
The exception to the rule.
So that's where people built all that equity. And you're right, Frank. Now we're, right now we're flat. We're down 0.2%. So we're down just a smidge. We might end up 1%, maybe 2%, which could be the new norm for the next few years.
That's okay if you're in it for long term. That's okay. You're building a little bit of equity as you pay down your
compounding
mortgage.
It over the 15 years, 20 years.
The problem is the divorce. That's the biggest problem when people have to get divorced and they haven't built up that equity, especially if they had to put 5 or 10% down.
Do it right to begin with. Marry the right person.
Yeah, but Frank, not everyone's a perfect human like you who stays married, Yeah, Greg and I we weren't able to do it. We just weren't able to do it.
2 out of 3 sitting in this room.
Yeah.
I loved it when Steve Gregory was the host. It was like all 3 of us. Frank was still here.
Yeah. 3/4 of the room.
Yeah,
definitely. And Caroline, some great points as well. Like managing your finances is 100%. A must, regardless of the time. But there's definitely been some challenges that have come into the real estate market in Canada that's changed affordability.
So this newer generation has got their parents helping them a little bit more. Where I had my parents help me with the big Italian wedding, and they paid for it because they felt they had to. But when it came to buying your home and doing everything else, you were on your own. Your parents wanted you to learn how to do it on your own. Where, like I said, I mean, we're close to 40% now of parents or a family member having to help a first-time home buyer get into their home, either with a down payment or by co-signing or guaranteeing the mortgage.
That's what you're seeing.
That's what we're seeing today.
And I was talking to Greg before you got here this morning, Frank, and we were looking at the tale of two. I look at my daughter, who's 24. Lives in Kingston right now, paying rent. She's coming back to Ottawa. She is paying rent again. She won't go home and live with me or my ex-wife, so she's going to pay rent. Well, she hasn't established a career yet. She's working at Lone Star. How is she ever going to get out of that rent trap? Where my son, who's in real estate with me now, he's like, I'm living with mom. I'm traveling and I'm saving my money to buy a house. That's his philosophy. I like that philosophy better. Like go home, live with mom or dad for a little bit, save some money, put together that down payment and get into home ownership rather than getting into that rent trap as a young person. And that's what we're seeing right now is too many young people are getting into that rent trap and not ever getting out of it. So
it's difficult to get out. There's no question. Once you get in it, unless you've got somehow some loads of cash coming in somewhere, you can even be frugal with everything, and it's just that much more difficult today to put money aside. And the amount of money you got to put aside to be able to buy your first home, because before COVID, $300,000, $350,000, you get into a townhouse. Today, you're $550,000. All of a sudden now,
on the low end,
down payment's gone from $18,000 with closing costs now to $35,000 with closing costs. So it's significant amount when the cost of everything has gone up as much as it has.
And that's doing a minimum down payment. That's not.
And that's doing the 5% down.
Right.
Well, we talked about like the average sale price of a single family home now is $855,000. The average price of a townhome is
five something. It's got to be in the fives.
$554,000. Yeah. And that's a low end.
That's the average.
That's the average.
Yeah.
I mean, most townhomes. That's a smaller townhome. Most townhomes are 6 to 6.25 and bigger. More expensive for bigger ones. But
so now you're talking $40,000 to get into that home,
and you're
down
paying
payment,
and you're
with
paying
a 5% down,
and you're paying
5% down,
and you're paying $3,500 a month in rent and utilities. How do you save? You got to have a job making $100,000 plus.
That's the challenge.
So,
yeah.
Anyways,
well, and to even qualify for the mortgage,
4 times. So take your income
4 times income,
right?
So if the average sale price is
$600, you're talking $150.
You have to be making $150 to even qualify.
Yep.
And not a lot of people are making $150. That's a lot of money.
Not a lot of younger couples who are just starting their careers. Are
even
they gonna
together,
be making $150? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they going to be making $150? Yeah, at some point they will. They're just not there yet. And that's why we're seeing in Toronto, GTA, the average first-time home buyer is in the 40s now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still in the 30s. I think we're closer to the mid-30s here in Ottawa. Interesting enough, you were talking about real estate agents writing up listings and stuff. The stat came across my desk this week where in Ottawa, right now, 58% of real estate agents are using AI to do their listings for them.
And they should.
Yeah.
They should.
100%. One of the highest ones, actually. Ottawa is one of the higher cities. So better real estate agents, I think, here in Ottawa, where some cities are 12%, 10% that are only using AI. So.
Yeah, and they should. Like, listen, I can do a write-up myself, and it's going to sound good, but you throw a little bit into – so what I usually do is put my write-up into to ChatGPT, and it just spruces it up a little bit and gets it a little bit nicer for me, and that's what I use, right? But it's still my write-up. It just ChatGPT's English might be a little better than mine. That's all.
Occasionally,
yeah.
No, but you must have to do your diligence on what comes
100%.
back, right?
You got to read it and tweak it and change it, and yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't, if I put in there, beautiful tree-lined street backing onto a pond, and they come back and saying,
Ocean View
backing
Estate.
onto Ocean View Estates. Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's not what I said. It's a running little pond,
Yeah. We know how much you like San Diego, Paul.
Yeah,
So all your write-ups come with palm trees and
of course,
beach view, right?
Yeah. It backs onto the Queensway, but I'm saying backs onto no neighbors.
No rear neighbors.
No rear neighbors.
And hence the importance of going to see a house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have a question, head over to realestateandmortgageshow.com. You could submit it there or give us a call at 521-TALK, 521-8255. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We had a question come in from Gary this week from realestateandmortgageshow.com, and Gary said, one of your competitors, this is to you, Paul, one of your competitors is offering $5,000 off their real estate services in their radio ads. What's the gimmick here? Why isn't Paul Rushforth offering a similar $5,000 off?
Okay, so I don't know who it is, which is great because I don't want to comment on who it is. All I can say is, listen, if I want to jack up my commission and then take $5,000 off, I could do that too. So always take a look at that asterisk beside it and see what the rules and the parameters are. There's lots of programs out there that I don't know if you'd want to know the parameters of it. So
Yeah.
Just do your due diligence is all I'd say on it. I mean, but most likely it's a higher commission to take that $5,000 off, but that's not my program, so I'm not going to comment any more on it, and who it is, I don't care.
And we see it in our industry, too, where banks will offer a cashback mortgage, but then you're paying for it in the rate. It's like, wait a second.
It's weird, yeah.
You can do it one way or the other way. You decide which one you want. If you want the cashback and you're going to pay an extra quarter point on your mortgage, well, then
a quarter point on a mortgage is a massive amount of money.
So big deal. You're getting the cash up front. If that's more important to you than paying the quarter point, then that's okay.
Right.
I can charge you 6% and take $10,000 off. Or would you rather pay a different percentage?
Exactly.
So it's just read the little asterisks and the fine print and do the math on it. And I'm not saying it's not a legit program. I'm just saying I don't know the program. I don't even know who it is. So maybe just look at the asterisks and do your homework on it. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, read the fine print.
Read the fine print.
As with anything.
And like I said, it might be a great program. It might be a great program.
And at the end of the day, listen, again, I'm just a consumer. I mean, I would say, okay, well, if you're going to list my house for $600 and it's going to sit on the market for 3 months, big deal that I'm getting $5,000 back. If you're over listing it, I'd rather list it at $590 and sell it because I've got another house that I purchased. So,
and 45% of homes are only selling. So,
right.
There's almost 6 out of 10 that are not selling. So, I mean, I think you forget about programs. I think you need to look at a marketing track record. I think you need to look at negotiating skills and exactly who you're listed with and pricing precision.
Especially in this market.
Especially in this market. Yep.
No, absolutely.
Good question. Good question, though.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Really appreciate the question. If anybody else has a question, you can go to realestateandmortgageshow.com, submit it there. To the phones we go. We got Steve in Ottawa who has a question about housing prices from 1980 onwards. Steve, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
Awesome.
Good. I've been listening since day one with you guys. We've spoken a few times. Love your show. It's the best.
Thank you.
I started following real estate, kind of about the time you guys started your show, but I've been doing some purging lately, going through old stuff and what have you. And I came across in a shoebox some real estate ads that I had saved, both in Ottawa, surrounding areas, cottage country. And these articles and actually ads date from like 2000, 01, 02, 03. And I was really surprised. I knew, things were out of whack. But my quick math on looking at those was prices have tripled since about that time, not just since 1980.
I agree.
So I can kind of compare it. At the time I was in a new job, and I was making in the neighborhood of about $30,000 to $35,000, which was okay money at the time. You could get ahead in that type of thing. And now I look at it now, if I was to triple that, you're talking I'd be making $100,000.
In that job, is anybody making $100,000 in that same job right now?
Not even close.
Right.
They're making double, maybe. So it's really out of whack. And I mean, you guys mentioned how the craziness of people during COVID expecting, well, I want my prices to be like that. And like you said, I mean, that's a one-off. That'll never happen again in our lifetime, right? So I am actually thinking that, I mean, for somebody like myself, and I think a lot of people sitting on the sidelines are waiting for more of a decrease.
Well,
because so crazy.
Yeah, Gary, and listen, I agree with you. Steve, sorry, not Steve. I totally agree with you. The one thing I will say, though, is Ottawa's still a very affordable capital city. Could you imagine we lived in Vancouver or Toronto? Our average salaries are higher here in Ottawa than they are in Toronto, yet their prices are double our prices.
What's the average sale price? Oh, it just dipped under $1 million in Toronto, right?
Just under $1 million.
Just under.
But our job force, our labor force is better than Toronto. And yet we're still a reasonable capital city. But great question, Gary, and we agree. Steve, my God, Steve, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I can't mix up Steve and Gary.
Because the email was Gary.
Thanks for the call, Steve. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening since day one.
We really appreciate that.
That's almost 960 shows ago. So that's crazy. So wow.
Just had a block with that name.
Steve.
Really appreciate it, Steve. Thanks. All right, Frank, birthdays?
Yeah, just a couple. My son-in-law, Shaf, celebrated his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to Shaf. He's given me 2 beautiful granddaughters and makes my oldest daughter very happy, so thank you. And my brother-in-law, Joe, celebrating his birthday this week coming up. And more importantly, I'm the only one in this room right now who's wearing a very proud Canada soccer shirt. Go Canada Go. I think everybody's going to be by their TVs, even you, and I think even Paul might watch it.
I might even
Paul's
watch a little soccer. Not a soccer guy, but I might even watch it.
I'm out of here as fast as I can to get back to Canada.
This is supporting our country. I mean, this World Cup has been phenomenal, what it's done for the economy. And again, we're going to see it in the job numbers. So there were a lot of people hired for this World Cup.
Oh, that's interesting. I never even thought of that.
We're going to see in August and September the job numbers likely come down, and the World Cup is the result of it because we saw them go up because there's so much hiring was happening because of the World Cup events in both Toronto and Vancouver.
Yeah. Good.
Paul, birthdays?
I have a special one. My favorite person in the whole world, my girlfriend.
Me?
Yeah, you. My girlfriend Petra has her birthday. Now, I won't be on the show next week because I'm hosting 40 of her wonderful friends up at the cottage. So I will not be on the show. John will be here replacing me, but her birthday's on the 13th, so I won't be here for that. But happy birthday, Petra! And actually, as a gift for her, I'm flying her dad over from Slovakia to spend the birthday with her.
That is awesome. That was a surprise that you just, because she does listen to the show.
She knows. Now,
I was just going to ask that, Frank.
It's also her brother Marcel's birthday. They were born the same day, 5 years apart.
Wow.
So happy birthday to Marcel as well, which is crazy, eh?
That's, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just doing the numbers back. Halloween maybe was good for for Petra's parents. Halloween party must have been.
This is a family show, Frank.
Oh, yeah, okay.
and also, I will not be on the show next week, so I think this person actually gets a special shout out this week, and when I come back on the show, it's my mother's birthday on the 16th as well. So happy birthday, Colleen. Wonderful lady. Colleen. So happy birthday, Petra, Marcel, and Colleen.
All right. Well, happy 4th of July to all our American friends and family out there, and go Canada Go.
Yes, go Canada Go.
Have an amazing week, everybody.
And please continue to support local business and charities, everyone.